I only joined this club so I could say thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now, none of you asked, but here I am anyway to tell you why I did that. A few months ago, I was sitting in my bedroom, procrastinating my life away, thinking about the various ways I'd be kicked out of the TED Ed Club because I had no idea what I wanted to talk about. In the midst of me making jokes, as I always do as a way of coping with life, I came up with this. I thought it would be crazy if I actually said this. Then I was like, it would be crazy, and that is exactly why I should do it. It just felt right. We've all been there. I'm not referring to the procrastination part. I'll talk about that some other day. I'm talking about being Surabhi with an unusual idea. You think about it, you really want to do it, but you don't actually pursue it. Why is that? That's the thing. That's the differentiator. What is bold? Is it just being a round peg in a square hole? Or can it be other things too? It is a subjective term, and this is what it means to me. When I was 12, I led the children in my locality into a protest against cutting down a park I held dear to my heart. The politician who owned it felt so threatened by me that he publicly humiliated me and told me to go back to school. Now, maybe if he had gone to school, he wouldn't have to feel so threatened by a schoolgirl. I loved that park to death and was prepared to do anything to save it, even if it meant going house to house under the hot summer sun to get people to sign my campaign. Being bold doesn't always mean rebelling or being different, but a lot of the times it does, because being bold is about doing something you really want to do, even when there's a risk or fear factor involved, and doing it anyway. And standing apart from the crowd is something that most people are afraid of. It can be risky too, since people are generally not open to the idea of change or being opposed to, like the politician I'm referring to. When I was in ninth, I joined karate. Everyone there was twice as physically strong as me, and let's just say my fights did not go well most of the time. I was ridiculed and laughed at. Well, even I made fun of myself. But I still went there day after day and fought because I wanted to learn. In my first tournament, my final was against the best fighter in class, and everyone thought I would lose. Guess who won gold? It was scary, but that's why it was fun. I am proud to say that I am now a black belt. These instances may not seem like a lot to you, but they do to me. And that is exactly my point. Everyone has their own definition of bold, and this is mine. Being bold is mostly associated with rebellion, but there are other ways to be bold too. When I pursued karate, I wasn't exactly rebelling against anything. I was just doing something I really wanted to, even though there was a risk factor involved, and frankly, I was really scared. Being bold could be wearing ripped jeans to a family event, or if you ask my mom, it could be taking PCM as a social media addict. Or sometimes it just means the courage to be yourself and to go after what you really want. A lot of people would consider me bold for still pursuing karate. Now let me ask you this. If I'd actually ended up getting seriously injured and was eventually not able to continue and get my black belt, would you still call me bold, or would you call the move stupid? We often tend to determine the boldness or foolishness of an action by its outcome. But is that really the right way to go about it? I personally feel that the difference is information. If I had gone into it without understanding that getting seriously injured is a possible outcome, it would fall on the foolish side. But I went into it knowing fully well that that could happen, and that is what made it bold. It was in those moments that I felt the most alive, and being bold helped me find me. I've done some bold stuff in life, but there are other times when I took a step back and took the safer path. And honestly, the what ifs trouble me more than the times that being bold didn't pay off. I knew that if I didn't at least try to bring up the thank you for coming to my TED Talk idea, the regret of not trying would hurt more than the idea being rejected or me being thrown out of the club. All of us have great things and great ideas we want to do, but not all of us have the courage to actually go out and pursue them. And that is the difference between the bold and the ordinary. Even if it was something small, but it scared you and you still did it, you're bold and I am proud of you. A special shout out to everyone who thought I wouldn't actually be able to go through with this. And if a lazy procrastinating doofus is bold enough to go on this virtual stage and make a fool of herself, then you're bold enough to do whatever excites you to. Go be bold because life is shorter than I am.